up there as well as working. We had to spend hours each day exercising to maintain our bones and muscles in weightlessness. It's the same for all astronauts. We had some downtime too. In my 3 hours, I looked back at our blue planet. Water is everywhere, from the turquoise Bahamas to the vast Pacific. Studded with jewel-like islands, it swells glinting in the sunlight. This is why we have these beautiful windows as well. The nicest place is the cupola, a European-built cupola with windows around you, and in the bottom from the outside it looks like this. We have protective covers against space debris, so if there's nobody there we close the covers. We call it Planet Earth, but maybe you should call it Planet Aqua or Planet Ocean. And it all started actually with Apollo 8. We know we live on a globe, but if we look outside, the Earth is flat and the air looks endless. But from space, you can see that we live on a sphere. When this crew went away from the gravity field of Earth to the moon, they flew around the moon and they saw something special. Earthrise. First time through human eyes we could see our beautiful space. The Apollo flights changed our minds. We're talking about spaceship Earth. We are all astronauts on a spaceship with limited resources. And that's something that the astronauts also in low Earth orbit feel a lot. We call it also the overview effect, to see the whole picture of the planet below you. We go with 28,000 kilometers per hour, so in 1.5 hours you are back at the same place. The Earth rotates under you, so every time you see a new piece of the planet below you. That means that 90% of the planet you can see from the space station. So a beautiful planet, a very thin atmosphere. You have the feeling that if you blow very hard, that you blow off the whole atmosphere. 70% of our planet is water and clouds. That might be boring, but also there you can see interesting things. A real hurricane. You don't want to be under there. So even from space it feels threatening, the amount of energy that's in hurricanes. From space you can also see interesting things in the water. Big ice fields, of course, but also other issues. For example, if we look at the Canary Islands and you see ocean currents, see shading of ocean currents beyond the islands. And in the oceans itself, a lot of wave formations. And you see interesting patterns. Probably you don't now even notice it if you are there with the ship, but from space you see all huge wave fronts passing. So if you see it, you think, is this a tsunami? So maybe it's underwater, but you can see these huge waves from space. You find these volcanoes on the Ring of Fire around the Pacific. So talking about water, the Pacific is huge, even from space. And here you see Bora Bora, French Polynesia. And you see that it was a volcano. And the volcano starts to sink. On the edges, corals were formed, and in the end, it's only a laguna left over from the volcano and a coral ring. Of course, because of sea level rise, some of these islands are under threat because one day they are totally underwater and the population has to move. This is a negative consequence of the sea level rise. Along the coast of Australia, you see these beautiful corals.